Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 1st of November, 2022. I hope and trust that you all survived your Halloween. We did around here at Nelson Creek Farm. So on we're going to go with projects to do today. And one of them is getting the pellets for the pellet stove unloaded out of the back of the old pickup and up to the house. So stay tuned. We're going to be using the new tractor, and we got a couple old ones we're going to be dealing with today too. In fact, 2 or 3 of them. So hang tight. Here we go. The weather the last couple of days for November has actually been pretty decent. We've had highs back up into the 60s again here at the farm and around the area. And we'd been down into the 30s and 40s for daytime highs for a while. So yeah, we're kind of warmed back up. But today we have a little bit of an issue. We have some storm clouds coming in. So that's the reason why we're going to bring in the wood pellets. We're going to make use of the LS tractor and its loader bucket. I don't have pallet forks yet, so we're going to have to unload all those 30-some bags of pellets by hand into the bucket and then transfer it to a wheelbarrow to get it up to the house. Now, do I have a better place to store the pallets of pellets? Because I'm going to order some more. Not currently right at the minute, but with rain and or possibly first snow here of any amount in the valley coming up, I need to get these pellets out of the back end of that pickup. Besides, I need to use the pickup for other things. So yeah, it's been sitting here now for the better part of several weeks with the pallet in it. So we're going to get it taken care of today while I have today off. Yeah. You'll have to forgive me. I got a ice bath with a little bit of ice water on it. The the top of the pallet had some water that had frozen from a rainstorm we had here not too long ago. Yeah, it's a little bit on the cool side. Anyway, yes, I could be using pallet forks on this quick exchange front end to unload this. However, the loader only has an 1,800 pound capacity or so, and I really don't want to overload it. So we're going to unload it manually. Yeah. Now, could I use a pallet fork? Sure. But there's this thing called gotta haves, must haves, and wants. Like to haves and that sort of thing. Right now, with winter coming, the new edge on the bucket was a must have. The pallet fork will be coming. It's a quick attach thing. We just move the 2 levers, unhook the bucket, drop it, hook onto the pallet forks, close up the 2 levers to latch onto the fork frame, and off you go. Yeah, I really could use a pallet fork thing today, right now as a matter of fact. But the needs and must-haves have got to come first. And right now I'm staring at property taxes coming up, Christmas expenses, and that sort of thing. So we're going to have to do it the hard way for now. And the pallet forks, that's just going to have to come later. You've probably noticed that I have a few extra pounds around my middle. Well, it's an eating disorder because I'm always about to eat disorder of pizza, disorder of burgers, and disorder of fries. Alrighty, well, I got the first load on the bucket. back up and go around to the front of the house. I got to thinking about it, and there's absolutely no reason why I should unload the bucket and then proceed to put it all into a wheelbarrow just to unload the wheelbarrow again to pack it in where I'm going to store it at. So, yeah, we're just going to drive around to the front of the house, to the front porch, and I'm going to have to very carefully pack each bag into the house because there is no floor per se yet on the porch. Why am I putting them in the house? Well, lack of someplace better for right at the minute. Now, because I have more than just the 2 corner posts, I have 4 here on holding up the roof of the porch. I can't reach in onto the deck surface with the bucket, so I'm going to have to do some stretching and reaching as well. Here, yeah, a little bit of a gap right there, which is okay. Didn't want to get too close. But the problem is I don't have any flooring down here on the deck floor yet. What I have is a 6-foot chunk of cedar fencing, dog ear cedar fencing that was a panel that I'd purchased from an in-town store. It's just a little chunk of what's left of one. And as you can see, that end there and that end over there are not supported. That gave a missionary the other day a whole bunch of grief because he walked up there, knocked on the door, tried to open the door or whatever. And as he turned around to leave, he stepped on that front edge. He got whacked in the back of the head with the board when it flipped up. And I think he cracked a couple of walnuts on some of those 2x6s when he fell through. Funniest thing I'd seen in a long time. Well, that's the first load done up to the house. Now we're gonna back off the lawn here and go get the last of it, haul it in. There's the neighbor wondering what the devil I'm doing on my yard. Anyway, to give you a quick little update on things that's been going on with me. So while I'm loading the bucket again, here's what's been going on here at the farm behind the scenes. Alrighty, sorry about the wind noise. I'm using a camera with no wind baffle on it. Quick update on the old GoPro Hero 7 Black. It is working again. I had to replace this red wire from the Rode wireless microphone receiver down to the GoPro mic adapter. It's in the bottom of that housing right there. And I robbed a few parts off that other GoPro that was really super glitchy, that was newer, and put it in the older one, and it seems to be working fine now. So hopefully from now on, we'll be back with some good sound again. So here's the next one. One other thing that I have done is in regards to the chimney for the pellet stove. It's something I wanted to do last year and never got around to it, but was to put some rock and gravel down here underneath it. I need to put some more over in here underneath the bump out for the living room windows. But hopefully that addition will keep any hot sparks, if any fall out of there, from hitting something organic down here and setting fire to it. If any of you have been following me on the farm and what's been going on here for any length of time, you know that I have had issues with my left knee. Well, until about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I was just dealing with that knee. Then for some reason, it quit bothering me. I could be walking along and it would let me down. I'd fall down. Well, it quit doing that. Now I've been having issues with the right knee for the last month and a half, 2 months. And it's been really rather quite painful. So I got a hold of the doctor in town and finally got a hold of him. Haven't met him yet, but I've talked to him. They had me fill out a questionnaire, so I filled it out. And they come back with, I could either have an arthritis issue, a torn meniscus, which is at the bottom of the likely pole, totem pole that is, at the bottom, down at the bottom, or what seemed more likely to him, as I'd been walking terribly toed out. And of course, instead of wearing the joint in the knee this way, I was wearing it at an angle. So they sent me a list of recommended shoes to try to make me walk more toe ahead, toed in almost, as it were. So I bought a pair for 60 bucks. The doctor said, well, you can either pay me, for my time sending you the information, or you can pay me for actually looking at you and doing something. He said, let's try this first. I said, okay. So for 62 bucks, I got myself a pair of shoes. It was on the list of recommended shoes to try. Seems to be helping. The other thing he suggested that I try was turmeric. Wasn't so much that I needed the turmeric in my system. It was the curcumin. I think I'm saying that right. I'll put the spelling down here for it so you can look it up yourself. Anyway, that is an anti-inflammatory. It is also good to reduce plaque in your arteries. And it also helps with your cholesterol levels, something I had been fighting a little bit on. So, yeah, we're trying that regimen right now as well. So, believe it or not, I take one of those turmeric pills, capsules, every night. And in the morning, I just take a low-dose aspirin. And I've been good now for the last 3 days to be able to walk around on that right knee. I think the next thing we're going to end up doing is putting the snow blade on the back end of this LS tractor, because according to weather forecast, we'll be seeing some snow here before too terrible long. I just found out my grandfather's addicted to Viagra. Poor guy. And I tell you, nobody, and I mean nobody, is taking it harder than Grandma. Well, that's going to wrap up things for today here at Nelson Creek Farm. I was going to do a little bit of work with the old Super M and Stinky, the 8N Ford today. Unfortunately, the Super M's battery is dead, so I've got it on a charger right now. What has happened with it is the alternator loosened up, tilted in, or the belt has stretched enough that it wasn't spinning the alternator properly, discharging the battery. So I've got that on a charger, so who knows, maybe yet later today we'll get to that and add that in a video coming out a little bit later this week. But for now, I'm going to call it quits, go inside, get this edited, get it out to you, and take care of some other projects I got going on. So, as always, right down there, click on the like button if you would, or share button, subscribe button, there we go, and give us thumbs up, thumbs down, tell me what you think of the video in the comment sections if you'd like, and as always, you all be careful out there. I'm Farmer Dave, wishing you well. Bye-bye for now.